All right, welcome back to Streamlined. We have a very exciting announcement today because we have finally fully rolled out our data integrity system because we've learned something about HighLevel, and it's that we cannot rely on them to provide us with fully accurate data. We have to do our own work to go back and pull that data. So I'm going to show you basically how that system works, and then at the end of this video, or also at least I'll leave a link to the app that I created that you can install. I mean, it's just a snapshot that you can install to your sub accounts that'll also help to improve the data integrity that we get. Essentially, the problem is the way this app works is we catch webhooks coming out of the CRM. So when a phone call is completed, we catch that webhook, we take the URL, we get it transcribed, summarize it, do all that stuff for you. And if an opportunity is updated or an appointment is marked as shown, then we send that data to the dashboard so that you can view it later. The issue is they don't always send these events. So you might have an appointment, you might mark it as shown in the CRM or mark it as no show, and that data doesn't even come over. Like it doesn't appear. And so we basically have to address this problem by going back and keeping validating the data. So I'll show you really quickly how that works, and then you'll understand how this new snapshot that I built out works. So basically, what we have is a service here that whenever we have an update come out of HighLevel, all we're going to do is we run this. So basically, we set the phase of this. This is a tracker. Each contact is going to have its own object that tracks the status. And then we set the alarm to 12 hours out. So every time there's activity for a contact, a tag being added, or an appointment being created, or a message being sent, anything that happens, that causes this system to reset and wait for 12 hours. Once that 12-hour mark hits, then we're going to run this alarm, which basically invokes a workflow, and we're just going to go back to that contact. I'll show you that workflow really quickly. Basically, all it does is it pulls the data from the contact. So first we try to fetch that contact, see if they got deleted or something like that. And then we make sure to upstart like the user. We get, let me see. We get opportunities, tasks, notes, conversations. We also get appointments, and that might be it. And then for conversations, we get all the messages for each conversation. It's weird, but contacts can have multiple conversations, and then we pull that stuff in. So anyways, this isn't really that important, but the important thing to remember for you is that any activity for a certain contact is going to cause this system to go back and validate that data. And so we basically needed a way to make sure that no events got missed. So I'll show you the solution that we have. Basically, we have an automation here, and when you import the snapshot, you'll have just this folder here. And when you go into this folder, we have a workflow called Data Integrity System. We already have 8 contacts enrolled here, and you can see why. We have a bunch of very general triggers. So one is opportunity created, call status, appointment status, opportunity changed, and contact created. We can't actually put contact changed in here because that would cause a problem with these tags. They actually tell you that. It would just create a loop. But yeah, this is really powerful. And then we add a tag, recent activity here, and then we remove it. This is a very, very simple workflow. All it does, adds a tag, and then removes it 1 minute later. And what that should do is that should fire 2 events from the CRM to my system so that we can catch that and we can say, okay, something has happened for this contact. We don't exactly know what yet because we could have missed something. So in 12 hours, let's go back and make sure we got all the calls, opportunity, appointment updates, everything like that. And so that's really all there is to this system. It's not going to cost you anything extra. You literally just import it. And if you're having trouble with data integrity, then you just import this workflow and it'll make sure that everything is up to date. Of course, it's kind of eventually consistent where it'll take 12 hours, maybe more if the contact keeps having activity. So eventually you'll have the full data, but it's not going to be instant because we can't run these backfills every 10 minutes for all of our 100,000 contacts that have activity every single day. So yeah, I mean that's really the system entirely, and I'll just show you. We have an app for this. So this is what the app looks like. Again, I'll leave a link down below, but basically you just hit install and it's only a snapshot. So you'll just be presented with this. You select all your sub accounts, or at least all the ones Streamlined is running on. Then you proceed, and there's really only 3 things, one of which is the recent activity tag, And then the others are just this folder to hold data integrity system. This will probably be expanded in the future, this snapshot, but you should have to re-import it for these updates to come over. So for now, all you do is just import this and it'll give you everything you need. And I've already done this, so I basically uninstalled it. It just keeps all the workflows in there, but there won't be any conflicts. There shouldn't be any conflicts. And then, yeah, that's really all there is to it. It's a very, very simple workflow, but this should get us, basically with this new reliability system, I think our data integrity for some accounts was really low, especially if you have a lot of activity all at once. It could be like 25% or something. If you're like spamming updates, like if you do a bulk kind of contact update. Whereas with this, with the kind of data integrity system, it should be closer to like 99%, something like that. I think previously it was like as high as like 95. Now it's like 99%. And with this, that should reduce the error rate by another like 90%, getting us to roughly 99.9% data accuracy, which should hopefully be enough for you. If it's not, I'm sorry, go yell at HighLevel. So anyways, that is really everything to this update. I mean, it seems simple, but it's been a lot of work on the back end to make sure that we get really reliable data. And that's important, obviously, for an analytics tool. We have so many features coming soon, and I wanted to show you. We also have a roadmap here, which I can show you. So basically what we're working on right now is just user groups. This should be hopefully out tonight. Just a easier way to kind of filter users in the dashboard and group them. Also sub accounts. And then up next, we have a bunch of cool things. New ad spend integration. That's going to be really, really big for making better data from, or for getting better data from our ads. Custom insights. This is going to be amazing. Pull out what are the top objections, pain points, services people inquire about, what's their personality color. All this stuff can be pulled out, and then you can use that in your analysis. Also, custom tables and columns are going to be huge, and really custom field aggregations are also in pretty high demand right now. So these are the main things. There's a lot of stuff coming soon, but yeah, thanks for watching, and let me know if you need any help importing that snapshot. I'm happy to help.